Welcome to Defcon Rugby. I'm Brian.
I'm Vic, and welcome to the Defcon Rugby Show. Big show tonight, man. We've lots to get through from this weekend. You know, we're going to be bouncing all over the place.
Always a big show, Vic. It's always a big show.
Always a big show. Yeah, you go.
Always a big show.
Now, the big show, he wrestled against Hulk Hogan, remember?
It's a big show. Yeah.
We'll talk Curry Cup, we'll talk NPC. Obviously, we'll have a look at tomorrow's game, Sharks versus the All Blacks. But we got to start on Friday night with your Stormers playing against the mighty All Blacks.
Mighty Stormers.
Played well, the Stormers. I've been listening to Sky New Zealand, Egg Chase. I've been listening to all the other podcasts. People are losing their shit in New Zealand. Now, some of them are just, how do you say, delusional, and others are totally worried. I don't know what their problem is, man. You won the game. What won it? What was that? 38-21. You won the game.
Won the game at the end deservedly, and I don't know what the problem.
Time, no one's going to ask you how you won that game. It's going to be Stormers 21, All Blacks 38, easy win.
Done and dusted.
No, but look, let's talk about that game on Friday night. Let's first take the home team, the Stormers, and then we'll get into the All Blacks. Okay. What did you think about your Stormers?
Listen here, the first 7-8 minutes, I thought, we're in big trouble. We are going to get one hell of a beating.
One hell of a beating.
One hell of a beating. But then afterwards, I mean, they found their feet, played well the next until about the 70th minute, and then the wheels came off. But it was to be expected.
They ran out of gas.
You know, the All Blacks could just put in quality from the bench. It was just to be expected.
I did something that I don't do that a lot, but I watched the game twice. I watched the Stormers game on Sunday evening, and I watched the Argentinian game at 4 o'clock this morning again. I thought I'd watch both games again, go through everything that because when you're commentating it and you're emotional, you kind of don't see everything,
No.
Yes. But I was looking at it, and I analyzed the game. Let's be honest. There were 4 or 5 tries the New Zealanders could have scored, and they played stupidly. You don't expect them to make those mistakes every game. So they could have easily been in the first half 2 or 3 tries more.
Yes.
We've got to be honest about that. But listen here, and now everybody in New Zealand's talking about, but it's only our B team. It was the fucking Stormers C team, okay? It was a mixture of a little bit of Curry Cup with a little bit of URC and a lot of old fogies, okay? Let's be honest. So the Stormers didn't have their best team. I don't think many of those guys that played for New Zealand will start against the Springboks. One or two maybe on the bench. I mean, but they weren't as bad as I thought they were. I thought the All Blacks looked terrible, and then I re-looked at the game and I thought, well, no, it wasn't that bad,
Yeah, listen here. I thought that the Stormers scrum was solid.
Yes.
But we expect that from South African sides, that the scrum is solid. I mean, all of them are solid. But
I've got to say one thing. You can see the All Blacks, they've got a problem with powerful players playing against them. And I mean, it's not like the Springboks are not going to bring any powerful players. They got a problem with the scrum. Mauls, scrums, rucks is a problem for New Zealand. If New Zealand can play their game, that quick release and run, then the Springboks have a little bit of a problem. But the Stormers did it cleverly. And look, the New Zealanders, I've been listening to Jeff Wilson and Big Goggles there and all the other boys.
Yeah.
And what's his name there? They're all complaining about the referee. Welcome to our life in the URC. Welcome.
Yeah.
South Africans, we complain about the refs all the time because the reffing in the world of reffing today, the international game is reffed for England and for Ireland and for Scotland and not for the Southern Hemisphere teams.
But can you put your sound up a bit?
My sound? Yes, I can.
Because you're very soft, says Paul Terry.
I can.
Just want to shout that while we just have a little break here. The Wolf Game is in, Paul Terry's in, Jan Ray is in, and Lawrence is in as well.
Wow, we're going to show you some stuff afterwards. But Look, I honestly thought New Zealand, they were complaining with the refs and our refs in Super Rugby and stuff like that. But listen here, you have to change. Not the whole world's not going to change and be like Super Rugby. The world game gets reffed like that these days. There's so much TMO. I like watching the NPC and the Super Rugby because there's hardly any TMO. But World Rugby, look, we're lucky we didn't have a fucking Italian ref. It would have been
I was
100
about to
times
say
worse.
that.
The South African teams complain every week in the URC about the refereeing, right?
Yeah.
So welcome to the club, New Zealand. And listen here, World Rugby is not going to change the way they ref the game, so you're going to have to change the way you play the game.
Not just that, it's also good preparation for them for the World Cup. It's, you're not going to have a New Zealander or seldom an Aussie ref.
Exactly.
So you're going to get used to these cuck refs, man.
I mean, it doesn't help, it's like me saying, well, I have a Ferrari, so I want to drive 300 on the highway or the Autobahn, but I'm only allowed to drive 120, and then when the cops pull me over, well, that's not fair because I have a Ferrari.
Yeah.
The rules are the rules, you know what I mean? So they got to get used to that. And I mean, look, some of the pundits have made their own team look, oh, we're terrible and we're in trouble. And then there's others, I mean, they're just totally delusional. The others, well, it was a fantastic game. No, it wasn't. It was an entertaining game. But I missed the quality from New Zealand that I was expecting.
Especially the backline. The backline was terrible.
Look, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like I said, I watched it a second time. During the game, I thought Bowden Barrett was fucking cuck. And then I looked it back. He didn't miss any of his kicks. That one mistake that he made one mistake there when he kicked it straight out of bounds.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he actually controlled the game a lot. He was solid. Who did I think from a New Zealand perspective was really good? I liked Fabian Holland. I thought he played well. I liked him. I did like Leroy Carter as well.
Moresby played bad as well.
But Moresby normally doesn't play that position.
No, was out of position.
He plays 11 or 14. I think, if you're New Zealand, I think they're going to start Moresby at 11, Will Jordan at 14, and Damien McKenzie at 15. Because all three of them are unbelievably good when it comes to up and unders. And we saw, I mean, we'll talk about the Springboks afterwards, but just one stat I want to give to you. The Springboks kicked the fucking ball. I'm not talking to the posts or ridiculous drop goals from Marnie. The Springboks kicked the ball 45 times during that game against Argentina. And every kick was too long. But so New Zealand knows what's coming. That's the South African DNA, unless Ricey's got something totally different up his sleeve. But
you never know.
But no, look, I thought the New Zealand, you can't. We both said it on commentary. There's going to come a point, 65, 70 minutes, where the Stormers are just going to run out of steam. Because it was for the Stormers, never play on this high intensity.
No. And what I enjoyed the Stormers because they can play that. I'm looking forward to the URC season now when I see that team and I know what players should be coming in as well.
Those are the ones that can fuck you up, the ones that are coming in.
The ones and then must probably fuck the Sharks, but I think it's going to be an interesting URC season. I just think it's the All Blacks' first game, a bit rusty. Don't take it too seriously. It wasn't the top team. Listen here, let the boys play. We'll see on the 22nd of August if they get a hammering.
Right. Let's be honest. At the end of this tour, right? No one in the world's going to come out on ESPN or the Sky Sports or any of the big TV things and say, well, New Zealand won all 4 against the URC. No. The question is going to be, how many did they win against the Springboks? No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit what any of the results are going to be against the URC. It is a good opportunity for a lot of young New Zealanders who are fresh in that All Black, who've never played in South Africa because they don't play against Super Rugby anymore. A lot of them have that experience and stuff like that. And look, it's going to get more difficult for New Zealand because I think Cape Town is the most New Zealand friendly stadium that they're going to be playing at.
Definitely.
And there's a lot of them that support the New Zealanders. I mean, we know, we even had people in our family, we know.
Listen here, those 4 URC games are potential banana skins. You just look that you win them, done and dust.
Look, and their third string team wins these games.
Yeah.
So, but from a Stormers perspective now, we've got to talk about one man, of course. I'm going to put him up there right now.
Put him up, Vic.
But first of all, I want to show you guys some pictures that we got from Lawrence. We'll be showing you some pictures from Wolf Gamer afterwards. Lawrence sent us some pictures live from the stadium. Look at that. Looked really nice.
Nice.
I'm just going to put them out there. The haka, or as I call it, the haka kaka. I'll put the next picture out there if I can get my mouse working. There you go, fireworks going off. And then I thought this was the picture of the day.
Yeah, that was nice, man.
That was that. See now, we banter the New Zealanders and all that stuff. But let's be honest, even Bowden, and we're not a big fan of the three Barrett brothers, you and me. But they class act, man. They class sportsmanship, man.
They are class acts.
For Ahmed, in New Zealand, Vern, I've been listening to the New Zealand. They're raving about this guy. They actually think that he could still play a part in the Springboks this tour.
I don't think so. I mean, just think about it.
Well, if we're taking a 40-year-old, we can also take a young boy.
Well, yeah, but don't forget, last year he was playing for Wynberg Boys, man.
Doesn't matter. If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah.
Or you're very old enough. So let's talk about the very old boy there, Dion Fourie. So now he's been called up. Now listen here, people, I got to put a disclaimer, time out, before all you South Africans fucking get on my case and I'll have to tell you to fuck off. I'm happy for this man. I think it's fantastic for him, for his family, for his career, everything that he got a Springbok call up. That's it. I'm not dissing, not 1 second I have a problem with Dion Fourie. Now, where my problem comes in. All I hear, day in and day out, we have depth. We have the greatest young players, under 20 world champions back to back. We have the greatest schooling system. We have everything. Then how the hell do we have to call up a 40-year-old? Where are the 23, 24, and 25-year-olds that could be in the squad? Why is a Chikatuka's not coming up? Why is not even Pepsi Buthelezi? We're looking for a number 6 to replace Sio Kolisi, who's most probably out. I mean,
The Beast.
There are so many. Why are we not using these boys? I am glad for Dion Fourie. I'm happy to see him play. There's not a problem. I just have a problem when you tell me we've got this great depth, we've got these great young players, then why is a young player not playing?
That's a fantastic question. Listen, Dion Fourie was amazing on Friday night. I mean, he's got his second wind. He's got his second wind there. But listen here, if you have to call up a 40-year-old, we're in trouble, man.
And I just read here from Bulls, Vincent is injured. No, he's not, because he's playing tomorrow night. I got the team here. I can show you. So he's not injured. I mean, you know what I mean? You're telling me. So basically, if I'm Evan Roos now, right?
Yeah.
If I'm Evan Roos, I'm fucked. Because if they're taking a 40-year-old in front of me, calling him up instead of me, I know he can't play the same position. But we've got enough sixes in the team still. We've still got Marco van Staden. We've got Paul de Villiers. We've got other players who can play the 6. You know what I mean? Hanna can go to 6 if he needs to go to 6. We've got lots of possibilities. Franco Mosca can go to 7. We've got all these possibilities. I'm happy for Dion Fourie. People mustn't get me wrong. I'm just saying, if we've got all these young talent, where the fuck are they?
That's a good question.
There you go. But let's knock it off. So, look, not a great result for the Springboks, 10-17. Look, it's never easy to play in Argentina.
No, of course not.
And Argentina played well. Argentina should have been up 24-10 by halftime. They had the opportunity. They should have. I did the game. They should have been up by halftime. They were way better. I was losing my shit on the channel. The Springboks were so cuck.
Yeah.
Listen, I was disappointed, Vern. I thought Eben played well. I thought that anybody that came off the bench at the end played well. I thought Sasha was fucking underwhelming, under par. There's no way he can start against the All Blacks the way he played on Saturday.
Yeah, he's, in my eyes anyway, overrated.
Overrated. I just think
Yes.
I mean, you could see he didn't know what to do anymore. Drop goaling from the halfway line. Balls that he kicked, crossfield kicks going backwards and shit like that. I mean, he didn't have a good game. He didn't have it wasn't like a 3 out of 10. It was still a 5 out of 10. It was still solid. But if you're the poster boy supposedly of world rugby, you like on the same par as Andre Pollock, although what's his other's name? Henry Pollock. I don't know. I just think he's too, how do you say, up and down.
Listen, he hasn't had many ups, man.
He's had a few world-class games, and then he's had a few games where I must say, listen, you're not Springbok worthy. But let's see, he's still young. Let's see what he can do. He's I thought the game changed for the Springboks when Pollard came on. He settled everything down. Sasha went to 15, and you could see all of a sudden everybody relaxed a little bit more, and we started to play a better game of football. That's the way it is.
Andre Pollard is mustard.
There you go. Then, listen here. Then we've got to talk about the Springboks. We are talking about the Springboks. Look, I don't know. Look, like I said, I can't see many of those boys that played on Saturday starting against the All Blacks. A lot of people say Eben will start at 4. I think Cobus Vista should start at 4.
I would start Cobus Vista.
Paul de Villiers will definitely start now, I think, because Sia is not going to be playing. I think Marnie starts. I think Grant Williams will start. I think the back line is totally booked already. I don't think there's no changes there. So, it should be a good one. But let's go. Let's move on. Let's move on to tomorrow's game, Vert, because it's an interesting game there. It's the Sharks against the All Blacks. I think the Sharks will play in their white strip tomorrow and let the All Blacks play in black.
Could be.
Big day for a New Zealander that plays for the Sharks, for a 44-year-old.
Ma Nonu, man, one of my favorite rugby players of all time.
Look, I think that's the only game he plays for the Sharks. Because he's only on a 3-month contract. He's only here to help the juniors and stuff like that. It's more like it's more like a PR stunt. But they put him in there. I mean, I heard an interview. He almost fell off his chair. He got off the airplane, I think, on Tuesday last week.
Yep.
Got into the hotel, and an hour later they told him he's playing today, and he was like, "Really?"
Cool,
it's gonna be funny for an All Black to face the Haka for the first time.
That would be funny. That is funny, yeah.
But he's on the bench as number 23. But let's have a look at the two teams. I think let's go with we'll be nice and we'll go with the touring team, the All Blacks. Lot stronger team than face the Stormers.
That is an absolute mustard team, Vic.
I mean, Ethan de Groot, first choice. Lord, Dari, Tupavai, Jacobson, Wallace, Titi. The only one that's missing is basically Ardy. Okay, Carl Preston is in there. Cam Roygott's on the bench. Ruben Love. Caleb Clark. I know Hamish is going to go off his nut. He loves Caleb Clark. Geordie Barrett, who has been in top form. Tupea, Fana, Ganufu, and of course, maybe one of the best number 15s in the world at the moment. Damien, I'm always smiling, McKenzie.
I still like old Jordan there on that 15.
Nah, look on the weekend. I can tell you what's coming in here. Amu will move out, and what's his name will go in? Cody Taylor.
Yeah,
he'll start. Then of course Surveyor will get a spot here. Ruben Love will take the place of Carl Preston. I could see Caleb.
Yeah, you mean Cam Roygaard instead of Preston? Roygaard instead of Preston.
Yeah. Caleb Clark and Barrett must probably keep their positions. Will Jordan will come in at 15. At 14. McKenzie will 15. So it's gonna be different. Look, I think the Sharks have got a tougher job than the Stormers because I don't think the Sharks are as strong as the Stormers team. But we'll look at it afterwards. I think this will be a bigger win for the All Blacks.
Listen, if they don't win by 30, 40 points, I'll be very disappointed.
But let's we'll talk more about the All Blacks and say let's look at the Sharks squad. I mean, look.
Come on, that's dog shit.
I'm so glad to see Fuzi Moya in there. But where are the Hendrick brothers? What do they actually fucking do for the Sharks these days?
When last have you seen the Hendricks brothers?
Where's Jorn Penix? I'm glad Siaya is in there at 15. I'm glad I can't wait to see Donovan Don. But it's not a bad team. Jorenza Julius, Donovan Don, Siaya is good. Bradley Davids, Fuzi Moya, Manu Chikatuka, Pepsi Buthelezi, Emil van Heerden, Vincent Koch. It is not a weak team.
Yeah, but it's not the same as the Stormers team. I would rate way stronger.
You think the Stormers team is way stronger than this team?
Yes.
The one that played against the All Blacks?
Yes. The mighty Stormers.
Okay.
Yeah. They are stronger, much stronger.
Okay. Now, I was expecting to see the Hendricks brothers in here. I was expecting to see Jorn Penix. Look, Vincent Chikatuka's on the bench, so that's okay. Well, we'll see. We will see what happens. All right. So, yeah, look, tomorrow that'll be live on our channel. It's going to be good. I think it'll be a close game till the first 35 minutes, and then I think... You don't think so?
No. I think the New Zealanders run away. That Mana says 17-61. I think 17 would be great if they get 17. I think they get about 12-62, something like that will be my result.
Okay, all right. We'll see. We will see.
Andre says no Emil and no Vincent got injured. Oh, well, we'll see.
Okay. Then, guys, we've got to move over to the Curry Cup. To the Curry Cup. Good Curry Cup weekend we had this weekend. Let's talk about the Curry Cup. There we go. There's the results. So the Greek guys beat the Lions 31-19. We wanted to do that, but it just didn't work out.
Stan Sports just didn't bring it, man.
Then the Bulls 31-33. Pity the Bulls didn't win. It would have kept everybody still in the runnings. But so the Bulls are definitely out of the Curry Cup. There's no playoff hopes for the Bulls anymore.
No.
Big win for the Sharks. So maybe
Massive
surprised
win.
a lot of people. Surprised me. 19-12. And then your Stormers, a tight game against the Cheetahs.
That was heartbreaking there, man. Faf de Klerk just broke my heart. The blonde angel just screwed me over.
But you see now, you see that you notice something. We talk about the Curry Cup, and now you have a guy that's an ex-Springbok playing in the Curry Cup that could still be a Springbok in the future again. Different class to the rest, isn't it?
It was fantastic, yeah.
The cream always rises to the top, even if it's got blonde hair. Let's have a look at the standings quickly. So, Griquas Cheetahs looking good. I think one more win, and they should be in the playoffs. Lions, Pumas there. Funnily enough, Griquas, Cheetahs, Lions, and Pumas, the top four play the bottom four this weekend. So we could have a divide. It could be a divide.
I think the top four stay the top four.
Well,
I just think that's where it's going to end. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets. You want that not home court advantage, but that home field advantage.
Griquas are going to have no problems against the Sharks. I don't think the Lions will have a problem against the Cavaliers either. Pumas Stormers, I think, could be the closest game.
I think so. They're in old
Nelspruit.
It's going to be tough. Wolf Gamer says, I think the Curry Cup should move to 2 games against each other. I'd love that.
Yeah. And listen here. How can somebody explain to me? Well, let me just take this away quickly. Can somebody explain to me? How many people live in New Zealand? 4.5 million?
4.5, 5 million, something like that?
I don't know. They're not over 5 million, right? So they can have a Curry Cup, which is called the NPC. We'll get into that afterwards. With 14 teams.
Yeah.
We have a Curry Cup. We have 60 plus million people living in a fucking country. We can only have 8 teams and only get to play each other each once. That is just pathetic, man. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Listen here. We also don't want to listen. If we don't have how can you say? If you don't have the quality, then don't water it down. You know what I mean?
There you go. Let's have a look at that Curry Cup team of the week.
Yes.
So I see a lot of Pumas in there. I see a few Griquas, a few Sharks, one Stormer, one Bull, and two Cheetahs, and one Lion. There you go.
Yes, yeah, of course, you take the teams that win, their players. But let's go straight through it. We've got Leon Lyons there from the Griquas. Their front row, the Griquas pack is monster. So I took him because they absolutely dominated the Lions in the scrum. Then we have Jan Henning Comfort for the Pumas, scored 2 tries, replacement hooker. He had a great game when he came on. And then Rohan Swiggers there in the front row. The Pumas front row against the Bulls also absolutely dominated the Bulls there. So that's why the Pumas getting a lot of players in that forward pack. Then we go to Simon Miller from the Cheetahs. He had a yellow card, but he was everywhere, Vic. Absolutely everywhere. He had his head in everything. Illegally, legally, he was going. Reminded me a bit of old Richie McCraw, the New Zealander. They were always on the bounce of legality there. So Simon Miller had a great game, man. Then of course Albert Liebenberg there for the Griquas, mustard. Absolutely stopping the Lions.
Are they going to repeat this year? Are they going to repeat as champions?
Yes.
You think so? Okay.
I think so, yeah. Then the only Bull that gets in there, Make, he had a great game there in the loose forward as well. The only decent Bull that was out there, I must say. Then Jared Carnes, the captain of the Lions, had a good game, just not good enough to win it.
Look, he's always solid, man. You can put him every week in the flipping team of the week. He's always solid.
Yeah.
I never see him play a bad game.
It's like him and Dylan Somblom. Dylan Somblom was also on my radar, but I thought I'd give it to Simon Miller.
As well. They always play good games.
Skippers as well. He's also fantastic. JJ Skippers there from the Pumas. Then, of course, at the 8, we took Willie Engelbrecht, the captain there of the Pumas. Played an absolute solid game there for the Pumas, scoring a try. Fantastic stuff, man. Roll back the time. That's all I can say. Then on the scrum half position, old Fluffy, or Fluffy as Ronnie Dirksen calls him. Man, what a little general that guy is.
He wasn't faffing around.
There was no faffing around. He played excellent, man. He's a tough little fucker as well because he puts sometimes his head there and just goes in, man. So I was impressed with his defensive work. And, of course, he did score that last second try there to break my fucking heart. Actually, I shouldn't have put him in the team, but never mind.
But talking about heads, George Whitehead at the 10. Just one quickly to the scrum half position. It was close between Fafi and, again, Bobby Alexander from the Griquas had a fantastic game, man. He's had a great season, Bobby Alexander. George Whitehead, of course, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent. I think he's 37 years old. He's got such easy drop kicking. And Sasha could take a course of drop kicking there by George. We'll send him to the school of Whitehead.
Yeah, we sent him to the school of Whitehead because he's mustard. Then a fantastic day, Mr. Razivinga, the under-20 World Cup winner there for the Sharks. You did that game, so tell me what was so surprising on him.
Steve Haga he's quick as hell, this kid, man.
He's quite quick, man.
He scored 2 tries, plays good defense as well, puts the tackles in and stuff like that. I thought he was sensational, and I think, he's gonna go places. He's gonna go places.
Then, of course, the inside center. I took Wayne Vernicke from the Pumas. Didn't score tries, Vic, but he was running that game line. He was running, trying to break the line the whole time. He was everything the Pumas did. He was trying to break the line. He was fantastic. I thought he absolutely nailed it on. But he didn't get a try. But also his defensive work was fantastic as well.
Well, the next guy up, I can say exactly the same. That's why he's in there. Didn't score anything, Lyle Matthews, but the work rate. I mean, know your centers have got to be top notch, and he kind of played like a Damien DeLinde kind of game, Didn't score, but every tackle was there. He was over the ball, last ditch tackles, holding balls up. He was fantastic, and his friend there, Christy Grobelaar. I thought Christy Grobelaar was the man of the match for the Sharks. He was just everywhere, Vern. He was everywhere. Yep. I mean, he did the work rate, the people that he was stopping. It's not always all about tries and scoring a hell of a lot of a point.
No.
And So I thought he was deserving of a spot there. And then your guy there, the
Dylan Miller, the young man as well. Also, the exact same, Vic. He was breaking the line, running like crazy. He had a fantastic game. Also, didn't score, but he was mustard. Or maybe he did score. I can't remember. But he was absolutely mustard, man. Controlling the game, receiving the ball way back, breaking the line, running up the field. Fantastic. Well done.
We've got almost half the season done here, right? Well, 4 games, more than half the season are done. 3 to go before we hit the playoffs. If you had to choose a player of the Currie Cup season so far.
Okay. He didn't play for the Griquas on the weekend. The hooker, Tian Lange. He has been, for me, every time he played, he's been absolutely sensational. I would go with him. Maybe a Bobby Alexander, who's had a good tournament as well. Even old Stefan Ungerer from the Stormers, he's played well as well. But I don't want to give it to an old fucker.
Look, I think Faf has got to be up there.
Faf has got to be up there.
He's been in our team, I think, twice or 3 times. I think he's up there as well.
Deon Somblom as well. He's had a good one.
JJ Skierpers. Lyle Matthews has been in, I think, 3 times already. So, But look, let's give them the 7 games, and then we're gonna have to go look at all our teams of the week, and then we're gonna have to try to put together somebody.
What about Alfinka there from the Lions? He's also had a good season.
Or look, Novaldo Fleurs, the kicker there from what's his name? He's also been
from the Pumas.
Good.
Yeah, but he had only 1 game so far, so we'll have to see.
The NPC, because I got some pictures from the NPC, because there's this guy in New Zealand that has sent us some pictures as well. We'll start off with the pictures there, because let's show you first of all the results. There you go. So North Harbour took care of Counties Manukau. North Harbour are the favourites to win it this year. I'm telling you, these boys are fucking amazing. 59-19. Then Taranaki against Waikato. That was a game and a half. They screwed it up in the last minutes, Taranaki. So Waikato got the win there. Then the battle of the big cities there. Auckland against Wellington. 34-31. Your team, the Bay of Plenty, beating Northland 34-31. Then Hawke's Bay, also another team. Hawke's Bay are the favourites for me. Sorry, not North Harbour. I got mixed up. I just like North Harbour because Brian Hall plays there. But Hawke's Bay has been the team so far, beating the Mako comfortably 50-19. It was a thrashing. Then a little bit of a surprise. Otago losing to Canterbury 15-19. And then Manawatu, Southland Stags 36-35. Now, I want to show you guys something, right? Just glance your eyes over this NPC and kind of, North Harbour, what is it? Around about 80 points. Taranaki against Waikato, around about 80 points or 70 points. Auckland, 65. Bay of Plenty, 65. Hawke's Bay, 69. The only game that didn't have a big score was Otago against Canterbury. Now, if I take that away and I go back to the Currie Cup results. Okay, this week was a better one. This week, but we've had a Currie Cup doesn't score as much as the NPC, and because the whole game is different. That's what I'm trying to get to. They play a totally different type of rugby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. So what I want to show you guys is, before we go further, our friend there, the Wolf Gamer, he sent us stuff there. Look at that. That is from Hawke's Bay there against Tasman Mako.
It's cold, Vic.
It was cold, only 8 degrees. Only 8 degrees. But I see they got the chippies there, the one guy there, and it looks good. I've got some more photos there, 1 second. There you go. Small, nice little stadium, good crowd, good stuff there. There you go. That's before the ground. You get in.
Hospitality.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of when we went to Calvisano, that kind of small stadium. I like that. And I got a little bit of a video here. Let me put it out there for you guys.
This probably was on the. He had a couple of clip tips for the drink, Doug.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Thanks so much, there, Wolf.
Thanks a lot to Lawrence. Thanks a lot to Wolf Gamer. Anybody else going to games, please send us videos. And you know, if you can make interviews with fans, you don't doesn't have to be players, with fans and stuff like that. That's fantastic. So let's keep that up, man. Let's keep that up. But yeah, so let's just get back to the NPC quickly. So let's have a look at the standings. So Hawke's Bay after 2 ahead of Waikato and Canterbury. The only 3 teams are unbeaten in the league so far. A team that I thought was going to do a lot better this year, Counties Manukau right at the bottom. Southland State, Wellington at the bottom, Mako at the bottom. Yeah, we'll see. Look, North Harbour doing well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough when those playoffs come around.
How many teams make the playoffs?
I think 8.
Okay.
I think 8 make the playoffs. Or is it 6? 6? No, I'm not sure. Wolfgamer can tell us. I think the top 2 are automatically in the first round, and 3 to 6 play 1 round beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Lawrence is in he's going to be this for the Sharks New Zealand game. That's good stuff, man. Yes, 8 make the playoff. Okay.
8 teams make the playoff. Great stuff. Let's have a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. There you go. So Wellington take on North Harbour. Northland take on the Taranaki Bulls. Canterbury and the Bay of Plenty. Auckland take on Hawke's Bay. Manawatu against Otoga. Southern Stags against Waikato. And Counties Manukau against Tasman Mako. That's probably, the Thursday and the Friday games definitely at 9:10 in the morning. I'll be doing those. And, maybe not on Friday because I got to go to the doctor on Friday. But on Saturday morning, I think Manawatu against Otoga could be good. Or maybe I just do Hawke's Bay because of Wolfgamer.
Well, maybe, don't forget us at 7 o'clock is still that Australia against Japan game. So that would be a good one to do maybe as well.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, it was a good rugby weekend, Vern. Good NPC, good Curry Cup. The All Blacks played, the Springboks played. Don't forget, Japan and Australia did play. I did write it down. Japan lost 32-35 to Australia. Leslie's first game as the new head coach of the Wallabies, or as I call them at the moment, the Wannabes.
Yeah.
They want to be. They actually want to be as Wallabies, but at the moment they're more like, what is that smaller version of a Wallaby? What do you call that? No, the Wallaby is a smaller version of a kangaroo, right? So they're really the smaller version. Call themselves the fucking koalas now.
Wombat or something.
Oh, the wombats? No, you don't want to fuck with the wombat, But a koala, they're kind of playing a little bit like a koala.
Not just that. Listen here, I watched a bit of that game because I couldn't do the Greek was against the Lions. I watched a bit of that game, and the Japanese are playing absolutely fantastic stuff, man. And a full crowd, Vic, sold out stadium there in Osaka. That's the way I want to watch rugby. Everybody in their white and red striped shirts looked amazing.
Are all the games in Japan?
No, the next game now is in Australia.
Australia? Okay.
Australia. Home of the Mongrels.
Today, mate. So that's the show for today, man. Perfect. Look, we're going for 45 minutes here, or 40 minutes already.
Okay, it's time to fuck off, man.
It's time to bugger off, Ski. Don't want to get...
But before we go, Vic, I just want to shout out to everybody in the chat. Paddy O'Brien, the Wolf Gamer. Janre's in there as well. Lawrence, of course. Lawrence have a good game tomorrow there with the Sharks against the All Blacks. Marnus is in there. Paul Terry, your smelly little... is on its way. I've got everything ready now. I'll send it off tomorrow. Wolf Gamer's in the house.
But that's not the one, that smelly thing. That's not the one you stick between your butt crack.
That's the one I stuck between my butt crack. I farted on 3 times as an Arsenal supporter.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Ciao, guys.